Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads, Northerners blast President Buhari for the decay of asset handed over to him. Celebrates GEJ. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. That's if you've not subscribed, just hit the red subscribe button. And then if you've not also clicked on the bell notification bell, please do same. Just hit that bell so that anytime we publish videos, you'll be the first to get notified. All right, and let's look at the news in detail. Some Northerners have heavily criticized the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, for causing the decay of what they call the Almajiri school initiative started by the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. According to the commenters, a Southerner created the Almajiri education program, which was a great initiative and meant well for the region, but their brother destroyed the legacy. A Northerner by the name Abubakar Galafi posted a photo of Goodluck Jonathan at one of the school and wrote, "This is what GEJ had done to us, which our brother from the north couldn't continue with. Audio promises indeed fulfill." And also a Twitter user identified as Fila Fidavid from the north replied, "It hurts that Buhari, a northern star, could not sustain the legacies a southerner handed over to him in the north for northerners to benefit from. It hurt badly." Another user also say, "Our brother is the enemy of the north and cannot see the danger ahead, but instead busy traveling from one country to another without any meaningful result to show. It's unfortunate that such a laudable and societal good program cannot be sustained by someone from the north." GEJ, as he's fondly called, started the Almajiri education program during his tenure, which saw the construction and equipment of about 157 Almajiri schools across the country. Right now, majority of the schools have wrought away with little or no care from the present federal or state administration, and the project totally abandoned. It breaks the heart a great deal. And there's still some responses from different persons also in respect to that subject matter. This one said GEJ is unbeliever, and whatever he did to improve the life of a believer is nonsensical. I lived 15 years in Kano and knew how typical Hausa Fulani man thinks. People who are forcing one Nigeria on us doesn't care how others feel. This one said GEJ sin was his religion. Oh my, this is not good enough for a country like Nigeria. And then another person here say, he said here, and Obasanjo said the Igbo man is the best of all the tribe in Nigeria. Anywhere he goes, he relaxes himself, build his house, develop the area by contributing in the church he attends there. Also contribute to the village development union to make sure he and every other person they have a sense of belonging. That act is in the Igbo man's blood and cannot be changed. Wow, they say that's what Obasanjo said. All right, we're still going to be looking at other things. So this one say, before the emergence of Boko Haram and Fulani headsmen, who are the people being used to cause mayhem in the north? It is the Almajiris. So if you now turn around to give them education, who do you now use as foot soldiers to cause political crisis which they need? When the need arises, the education of these boys will deny the north an important factor of sustaining their political power. Wow, that's a great one. Now let's look at this critically. It breaks the heart when I hear things like this, especially things that has a way of reforming the lives of the people. Now, one of the things that one must consider here is the fact that GEJ was not just an ordinary guy, This guy has gone to the last level in terms of education. He has gotten his PhD. He's a doctor, an academic doctor. So he understands the importance of education. And that's why he will do everything within his power to make sure anyone that is within him is liberated educationally wise. Now, first of all, we have to understand that education is not just, acquiring knowledge and all of that. It has a way of, broadening your spectrum. It has a way of your horizon. It has a way of broadening your horizon. It makes you reason above par. Most of the problems that we have in our society today, the truth is that it's traceable to lack of education. Because if truly you understand the importance of education, there are certain things that ordinarily that shouldn't be a problem to you. Imagine ethnicity. It's one of the enemies of education, because if truly you are educated and you see a talent or a gifting in the life of another person, what you'll be thinking about is possibly synchronizing. Let's come together. Let's put forces together and see how we can better the lot of our country. It's going to be a win-win situation. It's going to be a mutual relationship. That's how an educated person thinks. He runs away from anything called fighting and all, because to him, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they can be fighting with their pains and all of that. But hey, trying to see how you can empower people to fight against one another makes no sense. That is what GEJ represented. And that is why, with that level of understanding, which I believe is traceable to the level of education that he has gotten, and also aligning the knowledge that he has gotten to help, reform his mind again. It made him to say words like that the blood of he said he said that the blood of any Nigerian, that no politician is worth the blood of any Nigerian, which is actually true. And it takes a man whose mind has been reformed, whose mind have been recreated via education and the likes, to begin to reason that way. But hey, this guy coming in does not really know what was the reason behind creation of this educational program. He doesn't really know why. Well, unfortunately, he has not gone to school that much, so he may not really understand the reason behind why certain programs were put in place. Instead, such people who are not well educated and all of that, they will be thinking of ethnicity. And unfortunately, the ethnicity that we're talking about, they do not really understand more about the ethnicity. Because one of the reasons why people adopt ethnicity as an element of politics is because the masses are going to enjoy some things if they vote their own person into that position. And I think that's why the Northerners are overly angry, because they believe that if a Southerner had come and established something so great like this for us, where we see our children going to school free of charge and all of that, and all the required assets and equipment are there to make them become great people in the future, we believe that giving you power will enable, will enhance and improve our educational standard, because you're going to do the best and ensure that that which has been created is sustained for as long as possible. That was the expectation, and that's the reason why you see people talk about ethnicity in politics. But unfortunately, that's not the situation here. Ethnicity for us as a people was, hey, if he gets into power, at least there are some privileges that he's going to have that we do not have and all of that. So we believe that if he start enjoying those monies, enjoying those privileges, it will, come down to our own level. They call it redistribution of income, or redistribution of wealth, or redistribution of opportunity. So it will come down to us, not just to his own family, but to the entirety of the people in his own environment. But unfortunately, that is not what is happening right now. There is failure on every side. Now, some people will say, well, educational wise, some of us are not really over interested in that. What we want is for us to have more opportunities and all of that. Okay, and there's some problems that are yet unsolved. For example, most people voted the present government into power because of the security situation that we saw. Most people believe that if this thing skyrocket to a particular level where it can't be handled again, then we are going to be doomed. Our ancestral lands will be taken away from us. So what do? Okay, let's vote in someone who have the capacity, who've been trained, who have years of experience in curbing any form of insecurity, and that's why he was voted into power. But unfortunately, that had not been fulfilled. Nothing of that sort has been fulfilled. We are still finding ourselves struggling. Despite the fact that we have an experienced person up there, we're still struggling with insecurity in the country. And then the other side also, which are some of the assets that have already been put in place, you are not also making use of it. And it's really bad. These are some of the things that we need to sit back, take into consideration before we think of bringing in anybody to represent us in any level in politics. That's what should be happening. Now, guess what? This thing we are talking about is not only at the federal level. It's also happening in the state level. Now, we're talking about this Almajiri school. It was established, yes, by GEJ, and that was a good one. You don't expect also that it should also be a president sustaining it. The state have a duty to perform. If truly you have the love of your people in your mind, and you want at least to improve their mindset and see them get out from the primitive life they are living, from that terrible life that they are living, get children out of the street and make them useful, they would have continued with that educational system. But unfortunately, that is not what we are seeing. And guess what? Those children are littered down in the street. Tomorrow they are going to grow up, become hoodlums. Tomorrow they are going to grow up and make life unbearable for the people and all of that. These are some of the things that we have been talking about. Now, guess what? Maybe the present-day government, president, maybe it's because the man is too old. If you look at our population, you realize that three types of people in the population. And the first is the dependent people, those who are depending on their caregivers, their parents, their guardians, their caregivers, and from the ages of possibly 0 to about 15, they're depending on their parents. But there's another one called the working class, those who mentally they're going to be working, they've got the power, they've got the mental capacity, they have the willpower to push, they can stand the test of time or the test of anything for as long as possible. They are energetic, both in their mind and in their arms. They are energetic between those ages. And there are also the third class, which are the old people. Hey, there's nothing you can do about their old. So, these other two are dependent on the working population. So, what's the implication of this? We are meant to be giving power to the working population. I think those who are in the Senate, most of the senators who are young senators in the House, they should think of bringing up a bill, too old to contest bill, should be out at an age of 70. There was many months ago we heard something about that, but it has been killed. We are no more here. I don't know the update about it, but I've not heard anything from it about it again. Now, too old to contest. That's some ages people get to, that you shouldn't allow them to contest. It is time for them to go back and rest. The highest they should be doing is consulting once in a long while when it seems things are overly difficult for the people to handle. And you've got the experience. The likes of Obasanjo, the likes of even this Buhari, the likes of Atiku, they should be at the consultation room where they'll begin to tell you, this is what to do. Do like this, do like this. I think when you put it with the level of experience I have, I think it will be solvable. You can solve this. You put this idea into work. That should be their duty. Their duty is not to be working. Imagine the schedule of a president, whereby you've got to attend so many interviews, you need to get update on so many things. There's some that you should be reading, getting it via reading by yourself. Because the person who is communicating to you may not know, with your level of experience, may not know what he's trying to say. Some of them may try to paint it well. But if you look at it personally, be watching television, listening to channels and other news, this thing, getting to know updates about things, the way you're going to be reasoning will be far different. So for that position of a president, we need a younger person. No, let them not realize this bigotry, ethnicity will not fix the country. We want the country get fixed, and I believe that with the experience that they have gotten now, their eyes is going to be open. Fairly recently, we saw a young man who is quite young, who had to come out openly and apologize. Said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I did not know that Boo would treat us like this and all of that." He was apologizing to the whole Nigeria because, hey, whether you like it or not, call it propaganda, call it a name. The truth is that this government has performed far below the expectations of Nigerians. Imagine, it's everywhere now in Twitter. Everybody's talking. So you don't need to begin to say, is the opposition party that is engineering this. They are the ones sponsoring. Nobody is sponsoring anything. Our eyes are wide open. We've heard of insecurity. We've heard of terrible things that is happening in this country. So our eyes are wide open. The peace that we expect to see that can cause development to stabilize is no more there. Insecurity everywhere. How would businessmen stabilize and make decisions that will improve a particular region? It's not possible. People are running. If you see the rate of Hausa guys who are in the south, who are in the southeast, who are in the southwest, you'll be so amazed. Doesn't mean that their own environment is not good enough, or it's good. They were profiting in their farming business, but unfortunately, it's been taken over by terrorism and Boko Haram and the likes. This is where we need to get things fixed. I think that this, from what is happening right now, we will put aside ethnicity and we'll bring in people who will represent through the interest of the totality of Nigeria, and we'll move ahead in fixing this country. All right, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What's your position on this issue? Do you think that there are deeper undertones to the abandonment of the Almajiri? Do you think it's linked to religion, it's linked to ethnicity and all the like?